Yo, what's good, y'all? I know it's been a minute. Listen, man, this Mars and Aries transit is about to be the biggest transit of this whole year, and it's gonna last till next year, 2021. Okay, now wherever you have this in your houses is how it's gonna affect you. Now we know Aries is the sign of war, aggression. Fire. It's the first flame. And then we got Mars. Mars is the planet of war. It rules cuts, pain, shit like that. So when you think about it, okay, now you have Aries, which is home in Mars. It loves being there. It's in there right now, and it's going retrograde very soon. Now, retrograde won't be a bad thing, but it'll tell you what you need to go for or what should happen, you know, moving forward when it leaves retrograde and continues. And once it continues, boom, then it goes into Taurus next year. But let's talk about it to say if you have it through the houses. Now, everybody, if you want to know how it's going to affect you in your life, you need to check the houses that it's in. Right now, when I say this means you need to look up your ascendant. Pardon me. Look up your ascendant sign. Now you do that by doing a natal chart reading. If you want one, I do those. I do those for free. Even if you want a free reading, just so you can get to know yourself and read that shit for free. If you want to pay for it, you want more in depth, you'll pay for it. Cool. But if you want to know what's going on with you with these transits, the best way, if you want to know how the moon is affecting you, you want to know how Mars is affecting you, all of that, you look and see what house is going through, because all of these houses have transits, right? And the transits affect you and change you day by day. Now, let's start off with the first house. Now, Aries is home in the first house, right? So if you have it through the first house, you have a lot of energy right now. You feel like you might want to do a lot of things. You might have a lot of ambition. You might want to achieve your dreams right now. Every personal thing, you want to improve. You fight for what you believe in. You work hard right now for what you want. You want to have fun right now. If you got an Aries ascendant or it's in the first house, you're feeling yourself right now. You may feel independent right now. You know, People might be really aggressive about your personality or try to control you, but don't let nobody walk over you. You know what I'm saying? But Aries in the first house is a great thing. It's home there. So, when you got Mars transit in there, it's just going to do nothing but, increase your personal things, you doing personal things for yourself. Some people might call you selfish, but it doesn't matter. So, that's the first house. Second house. Now, if you have Aries transit in your second house, what is second house? Now, second house is home in Taurus. It's money, finances, self worth, your morals, all of that. So if you have it transit in there, it is right now. Your money. If it rules finances, you're spending a lot of money. You know, or you're spending money to make money. You know, so and you could have images of your own self-worth. You know what I'm saying? You might feel like what you have represents you right now. If you're broke right now because you're spending all your money, you feel like what you have represents you right now, so you might feel broke. But what I say is there could be a lot of disputes over finances. You could spend your money recklessly. You can burn through money, but you also can find ways when it goes retrograde to make money. And you need to learn how to keep that money, because if you have this transit in the second house, you're going to be very bad at saving your money. Okay. Now we got it through the third house, right? Now, when it targets the third house, you will likely spend a lot more time dealing with communications and transportation. You may come across a little more aggressive at the mouth when you have interactions with other people. You might, shock people with how aggressive you're speaking through this next year, but they don't know that it's transit in your third house. Now, third house rules what? Communication, close friends and family, short distance things, like, something you go down the street, somebody that you grew up with your whole life, a best friend, someone that you talk to all the time. So you have Mars there, you can overly aggressively talk. Maybe you want to travel a lot. You want to do a lot like that. You can also mess up relationship with younger people, because third house also rules siblings. So you need to learn how to control your mouth, basically, with Mars in the third house. It's a sextile, so control that. All right. Now, when you got it in the fourth house, right? This could be a time where you spend a lot of time at home, or it could be where you're moving or someone moving into your house. Natal, when it's in the fourth, and you got Mars in the fourth house, it could be a challenge living with other people because you want things your own way, or they might bring something to make you feel like, oh no, what? this isn't how it should be in the home. But with Mars there, Mars is aggression. Fourth house is what? Cancer. It's what? Home, security. So if you have Mars there, you don't feel so secure at the home. There's a lot of energy at the home. Even if you feel secure, there will be problems. It might be small problems at the home. But Mars in the fourth house, watch out. Now, when you have it through the fifth house, right? Now, the fifth house is what? Rules what? Leo, right? Now, when you have it in the fifth house, you could be focused on what brings you joy. You could be focused on kids right now. Your relationship with children can be tricky at this time. It could be a lot of positive times, but then you can have kids that might not, you might do something to a kid, a younger sibling or something right now, and that can make something aggressively happen during this time. So how can I say, even romantic relationships, if you have anything going on with romantic relationships right now, you could be really into it. Like, you're quite horny and frisky with it. You're very into it because you want to have fun right now. This is the house of fun, with having sex and doing what you want, sporting events, and if it's kids involved, because sex is obviously involved. you know this can mean you and your kids, with Mars being here, could have an aggressive relationship right now. You need a positive outlet, for everybody, even when it's someone you're dealing with in a relationship. Don't be so horny. Be more, loving and aggressive, not, sexual and aggressive. Yeah, so now when it's transiting in the sixth house, right? Now, when it's transiting in your sixth house, you can accomplish a lot in the workplace, but this might feel like a time where you feel like you need to change your job or you need to change your schedule. Sixth house is, Virgo. So that rules scheduling and organization and money and things like that. So, and it also rules your health. So you might have a lot of things going on with your health right now. You might be paying attention to your health heavy. Someone at work might be bothering you, or you could want a promotion at work, or you might want to change your job or something. This is the perfect time to do what you need to do at work. Especially when it goes retrograde. You need to get this done. This is a sign for everybody who has this transit in the sixth house. If you need to felt like you got an energy where you want to change your job or you need to change your schedule or anything like that, now is definitely the time, right? So now let's go to seventh house, right? Now, when you're in the seventh house with Mars, right? Now, what is seventh house? Relationships. This means conflict with the partner. The house of Libra, one-on-one relationships, not, everybody as the collective, one-on-one relationships. This could be a time of conflict with either business, your partner, your mom, whether it's romantic. This can affect close friendships. You can be self-centered this time and focus on your views and what you say right now. And your relationships can suffer because of this attitude. You need to channel this into something better. If you want to, whoever you're arguing with or something, you need to fix that while this transit is going on, because this transit is an aggressive transit. This is home of war. You see what's going on in the world right now. This is an aggressive transit. This transit ain't playing no games with nobody. This is the biggest transit this year, and this is this is close to our outer planet. You only control half of Mars. So, as long as you can, take that half you can control and control it. So, okay, now when it's in the eighth house, right? It could be disagreements over shared finances and property, roommates. This could be related to inheritances, divorce agreements. However funds are being spended, loans, taxes, insurance, partnership funds, all of that. Eighth house, excuse me, also rules shared things like marriage funds and shared loans and things like that. So it's a lot of things going on with there. So make sure if you have any debts, any college debts or anything, they're going to show their faces, or you might realize that you got a lot of loans and things that you need to get over, get up with. So not as bad as most of them, but nothing is good or bad. Everything is good or bad, but at least that's not something that's going to affect you like emotionally or anything like that, unless it's with a partner or anything. Now, Mars in the ninth house, right? Now, you have a strong view of your beliefs. Now, ninth house is Sagittarius. Now you might be the type of person that tries to push your beliefs on someone else without, seeing the shoes they come in, you know? So, this would be a great time for you to broaden your horizons and expand your mind with things. You should travel more, overseas, different things, different cultures. Maybe you shouldn't be so aggressive in your beliefs because everything is pointing to the same thing. Like I say in all of my videos, every religion points to the same thing. You probably wondering what to believe in, what to do with your life right now. Focus on you. There's always a path in life. And, if you're into school or law, whatever, you know, how can I say, focus on you. Whatever makes you happy right now, just don't be so self centered in it and so, selfish with your beliefs and in what you do. Do it as a collective, as a mutable sign, like how the ninth house has it with Sagittarius. Now, Mars in the 10th house, right? You're incredibly ambitious at this time. You are willing to put in the work that's needed. You have a difficulty of, like, how can I say it? You don't want to be supervised around work, or you don't want anybody all over you because you know what you're doing. You could feel rebellious at this time over authority. You might want to aggressively be the spotlight, whether it's at work, friends, group of friends, whatever. You could really want to be the spotlight right now. So, and you feel it, and you might get that energy a whole lot this transit. But, authority figures, they are watching you right now. So pick your battles. Pick your battles and work alone. Nobody can help you like you can help yourself. Now, Mars in the 11th house. Now, I have this placement, right? Now, this is a great time to hope to chase your dreams because you have the energy to do so. You're very future oriented and you know what you're on. So you are likely to do more things with your friends and friend groups. This is the house of Aquarius, humanitarians. So you could be the person that if somebody is wrong in the group collective, you could be the person to point out that they're wrong and make them see right when the group doesn't want to. It's a very productive time. This is a very great transit, depending on what planets you have in the 11th house. It's a great, very great transit. So, you have the energy to do things that'll help you now and help the future for things later on. Okay. Now, if you have it in the last house, which is the 12th house, right? If you have Mars in the 12th house, this would be a frustrating time where it may seem that you cannot put your foot down. It is likely that you might slip into knee-jerk reactions when upset, and that this runs counter to what you want to do. Others may see to work against you right now, Got the hiccups, but others may work against you right now, but remember, if it's in the 12th house, it's the subconscious, it's all in your head. This is the best time to where you realize everything behind the scenes. So that also means do everything behind the scenes. So don't let anybody know what you're working on this time. Don't let anybody know what you're about to do, what you're gonna do at this time, because that's what you call body snatchers when you have Mars transit in this house. People right now could hear your ideas because your ideas will be lovely right now. Whatever you're thinking and the energy levels that you have, you might feel tired and depleted and like, you're burnt out. But whatever ideas you have and whatever, you're burnt out for a reason. They're good. So let nobody hear your ideas or what you're working on. Just go for it. Because if you do, they'll hop in that body and walk it for you. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And when that being said, this is Mars through the houses. Now, like I said, this transit is a big transit. You're going to feel it. Everybody will feel it. You'll feel it more than any retrograde, anything. Now, it goes retrograde September 9th, if I'm right. And that's next month, right? And so you guys better be ready because it's about to be on the cusp right now. It's at 27 degrees. So I wish everyone good. God bless. There's always good and bad to everything. Don't let any astrologers make it sound like there's one thing is just bad. There's good and bad to all. And with that, peace and love. I'm out.